What it do? Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel where I talk everything love and law. It's 2021 and I reached 1,000 subscribers. But sorry, wait. This video is not about the subscribers. It's not about, us celebrating. Not today. I will do it, but I have to wait for the weekend or something. Like, I want to do this thing properly, but like, not today. So, for now, ne? Sharp. But thank you for subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. We'll do this thing properly in another video. Cool. So as you would have seen from the title of my video, today I'm giving tips to candidate trainees, candidate legal practitioners, possibly anyone who's new in the workforce, professional workforce, possibly, I'm not really sure if this is gonna help, on what to keep in mind now that you are a professional, right? And just basically ways to make your life easier, seeing that you're new in the game, right? Because these things will come up and you're gonna wish you knew these things. But I do acknowledge and appreciate the fact that this information is out there and readily available if you want it. And even in your orientation programs at work, they should be giving you such advice. So if anything, my video is to supplement what the information that's already out there. Okay, and we move. Number 1. Colleagues aren't your friends. Colleagues aren't your friends. I say this respectfully because it is very, very possible for you to make friends in the workforce or at work. It's very possible, but the intention should not be to make friends quickly when you get to work, because you still have to get to know people. But obviously, you would want to be with people, or you would want to identify people that you're comfortable approaching for help, because you will need each other as CAs to manage certain things, or help out with certain tasks, or find out how a certain thing is supposed to be done. So be nice to your colleagues, but they're not your friends. Be collegial, be friendly, be approachable the same way you want other people to be approachable. Offer your assistance where you can, the same way you want people to offer their assistance to you. But always remember that your colleagues are not your friends. The risk that you run if you have this mindset that friends, I need to make friends or whatever, is that you might be the one who has the intention of making a friend, right? And then you get close to somebody who's really just being like, you know what, I hang out with this person at work, it's my colleague or my acquaintance or whatever. And then one day you really need a favor, and then you approach that favor, or you approach that person requesting this favor with the mindset that that time that person is like, we're not friends, I'm your colleague. Maybe that one time they're like, I'm willing to help you, but the next time it's like, you're blurring lines. Okay, I'm not going to do this thing for you. You might find sometimes a colleague asks you to do like a serious task for them because they can't get to do it, and you might sympathize with whatever situation they may be going through at that time. But you'll see if it's a recurring thing that you really would have want to establish those boundaries with people, because also people are less prone to approach you if you're just a colleague who's nice and friendly, who's willing to assist or help out in those circumstances where it may arise, as opposed to a person who's a friend. It's like, I expect you to do this, and even at times they don't even ask properly anymore because you're friends. So look, your colleagues are not your friends. If they do become your friends, great. I have good friends from the time I was doing my articles, even to this day. I may not talk to them every day, some of them I do, but we're good friends. But we had to pass that stage. And I even remember with one of my friends, we were on court duty together, and we were on court duty for like a whole 6 months, and I never spoke to this person, like, ever. And every week for 6 months we would be in the same car or something, going to court to do our CA duties. But this person was my friend. Only like a year later did I become close to that person. So it does happen over time that you become friends with people, but the mindset should not be that you're there to make friends. The people are your colleagues, and treat them with respect and be collegial towards one another. Number 2, you might find yourself in a situation where you've got work from your director or your boss, your principal, and then you've also got work from a senior in the team, like maybe an associate or a senior associate, and now you have to manage the tasks that they've given you. You would be drawn to think, Hore, your boss's work is more important than what a senior has allocated to you, your associate or your senior associate. But I'll always say number 1 rule is to check what needs to be done, and in order of importance, or whatever it is that needs to get out the soonest, prioritize accordingly, because it actually may be that the associate's work needs to be prioritized. It doesn't sound like it, because if your boss gives you something to do, you would want to attend to it first. But there are times where like the associate really needs somebody to help them out with a task, and that thing is pressing because they also have a deadline. Remember, you work as a team, not as individuals. You're not there to compete with the associate or the senior associate. You as a candidate attorney or candidate legal practitioner are there to assist where you can assist, and also obviously do the work that you're allocated by whoever gives it to you. But always prioritize your work accordingly without really considering ranks. Obviously, if you really can't determine, okay, what should I prioritize or what's more important, you're welcome to ask your associate or your senior associate. And I say ask them first before you go to your director, because otherwise you might be throwing them under the bus, right? You're welcome to ask them or tell them, make it clear to them that, hey, you've got this thing to do for your boss. Can you prioritize that thing before you do this thing? Or they'll tell you something else. Or you can even go to your director, but I would say that be a last resort, and say, look, the associate or the senior associate gave you work to do, and you still have this to do, but you are wondering if it's fine that you deal with this thing first before you attend to whatever else. But don't just automatically discard the associate or the senior associate's instructions or work and say it's not important, or they're not my boss, or I'm prioritizing what the director said I must do, because you're there, you're in a team, and you must really all work together, because really the goal is one. Don't compete with your associate or your senior associate. There's no need, honestly. Number 3, paper trail, especially with telephone calls. Any instructions received via telephone call, or any communication that you have with a client, with an expert, whoever it is that you may be communicating to, always follow it up with an email confirming the contents of that conversation, just so that information doesn't get lost in the air, because hey, we had a telephone conversation which was really only between the two of us, and hey, maybe your director doesn't know what happened, the secretary doesn't know, nobody knows really what the conversation was about, and it's really your word against that person. So always follow it up with a confirmation email saying you confirm the contents of the telephone conversation, so that everyone is in the loop of what's going on. And the sooner the better. If you can do it as soon as you get off the phone, do it. If you're somewhere and you can't do it, then as soon as you're in front of your PC, send a confirmation email of the contents of the telephone conversation. Always. I say this obviously subject to how things work in your firm or in your working area or in your team or whatever. So obviously, but I'm just saying to be safe, and I think I've seen it everywhere else. A paper trail of a conversation, a telephone conversation, very important, so that communication doesn't get lost. Number 4, be nice to everyone. Okay, when I say be nice to everyone, I mean people at the court, because you might be working in a law firm where you have to do, like what we did at my firm when I was a CA, is what they call high court duty, and then once a week you had to go to court and do whatever needed to be done at court, whether it's issuing summons, getting a date on the roll, unopposed or opposed motion roll, whatever, getting documents stamped, filing, whatever. One day in a week, you were responsible for doing that at court with somebody else. The thing is, though, the people at court can be very difficult to work with, or they can be very miserable people because, guys, there's so much happening in court, whether it's the magistrate's courts, whether it's the high court. There's so much happening. People are in there day in, day out. Okay, now with COVID, I'm not sure what's going on. So should you ever need this information, then take this tip as an advice. Be nice to everyone at the court because they can make your life very easy if they know you to be a nice person. And don't be nice just because you want something out of them. Like, even the first time you get there, just greet, like, you know what I mean? Like, if they say this is Mang Mang who works in the office of the unopposed motion roll, just be like, hi. Even if you're not doing anything, Mang Mang who issues summons, hi. If you're in the area, I'm not saying go to people's offices just to be like, hi. You want them to remember your face. It's not necessary, but if you do come into contact with somebody that you might need to approach for something, then be nice. Just be nice because they can make your life easier. Be nice to receptionists at work. Be nice to the cleaners. Be nice to your secretary. All these people have the potential to make your life difficult, and there's no need, honestly. There will come a time when you need them, but in any event, I'll just say be nice because it's like the godly thing to do. Like, there's no need to be rude to people for anything in life in general. Greet, guys. It's like just like a simple thing. Say hi. Like, don't just go to a person and be like, can you do this thing for me? Like, greet, especially in African culture, people get so touched like when you just approach them without saying hi. It's fine, I understand, and I really won't fault them. It's just polite to greet people. So just be nice to everyone, not just the people that you work with in your team, but to everyone that you come into contact with. Say hello, at least. That's all we're asking for. Cool. Number 5. I guess this one sort of ties in with number 4, sort of, but not really. Introduce yourself to the people in your team or in your department. So don't be a stranger to the people that you're going to work with quite often enough. You don't need to introduce yourself to every single person in the firm. Obviously, it's also impractical depending on the size of your firm or the size of your department or whatever. But those people that you'll be working closely with, introduce yourself to them as soon as you get there. I'm sure people have already started work this year, so I'm late on this one. But if you haven't, reach out to those people. And also just don't be a stranger to people. Like, some people are like reserved. Okay, I like my own quiet space and whatever, but just once in a while, just be like, hello. In a while. That's it. Okay, let people know your presence, that you're there. You know why? It ties in with number 6. Send out a capacity email. Now, I've been in the game for a bit, okay? Maybe not forever, but I've been working since 2015. So this is 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's my 7th year. 7. And only last year did I hear from Appy. Oh no, wait, 2019, did I hear from Appy Kuti, if you don't have work, send out a capacity email. And I was fighting this thing. I'm like, why must I send out a capacity email? You didn't give me work, so obviously I'm sitting here doing nothing. So I'm going to wait for this person to give me work. And he was like, no, because you are an associate or whatever. Now you must bill. It's time to bill for your hours. And if you're not asking for work, guess what? Come month end, you didn't reach your target. And what? They look at you. They're not saying, oh no, I didn't give her work. As much as you in your head are arguing, but dog, you didn't give me work. So how can you care about me not making my budget? You also need to go the extra mile and ask for work. Okay, for candidate trainings, you don't have to worry about making target or reaching your budget. You don't have a budget. You shouldn't. I've heard of 1 or 2 firms that require candidate attorneys to have budgets. I don't understand. I get again. But For now, you don't need to reach your targets or whatever because you don't have any. But when you're a professional, you will. But even as a CA, if you don't have work, ask for work. I'm not saying be a nag because I know sometimes these guys can get irritated, but also they must give you work. So if it means every 2 days you're asking for work because you finish your task and you can see the amount of work that they give you, it's not enough. It doesn't sustain you for long enough, and the instructions don't come, on a regular, then you don't have a choice but to ask. But don't sit there and do nothing. Guys, come retention time, and if it's your intention to be retained, then all these things will come into play, and they'll remember you for somebody who didn't work. And yes, it might be their fault, but you could have done something about it. So if you've got capacity, ask for work. Even more so when you're retained and now you got a budget. Yay! Never be like, it's not my fault. Okay, I used to. Everyone who knows me, everybody who knows me, I'm like, if I don't make my budget, it's not my fault. These guys didn't give me work. How many times do you want me to ask for work? Me, I won't ask a million times. I'll ask, but forever and ever and ever, me always. I shouldn't probably be saying this. But I realize my fault, okay? Look, if you've got capacity, ask for work. Just ask, okay? So that you're not the one who they look at and say, but you never asked. Also, there's also that argument that we don't know what it is that's on your desk, because maybe you might be getting instructions from various people, or they expect many people to give you work. For instance, at 2 firms that I worked at, I was reporting to more than one director, and one director might assume, Mang Mang's work is keeping me occupied. Another one might think Mang Mang's work is keeping me occupied, and it may very well be that both of them haven't really given me anything, and they won't know. So you're gonna have to ask. So ask for work if you've got capacity. That's what I have written here. I can't think of anything else. But yeah, I hope my my tips do assist you in the new workforce that you find yourself in. I don't know how this affects, candidates, attorneys, given the fact that a lot of people are working remotely from home, and training now the quality of the training administered might diminish slightly if everything is virtual, because everything is better in person, if we're being honest. But I mean, it's not to say that the world can't operate, virtually. It can. But if my advice doesn't help you because you work remotely or virtually, I'm sorry. Google tips for candidate attorneys working virtually. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there touched on something. But yeah, I really do hope that this clip does help, and that you succeed in your working endeavors, your careers, whatever you set your mind to do. May you prosper, may you succeed, may you do great, and become the professional you would like to become. Thank you for watching. Oh, please like, please share, please subscribe. I haven't said this in so long, and I see people don't like my videos. Can you like my videos? Comment on what you want me to say, or on questions, or say good job, something. Just say something. I'm asking. Cheers.